Before carbon fiber, gears, or even pedals, the very first bicycle wasn't born from a desire for sport or freedom. Oh no, it came from pure desperation. Picture this. The year is 1816, and the world is starving. A massive volcano had erupted, blocking out the sun and causing a year without a summer. Crops failed, and tragically, oats became impossibly expensive. Horses were dying. How do you get around when your main ride is literally starving to death? This was the huge problem facing our hero, Baron Karl von Drais. He was a German aristocrat and forester, which meant his job required covering large distances. And he had a radical, seemingly impossible idea. What if a person could propel themselves faster than walking without a horse at all? Now, Drais wasn't a formally trained engineer, which was probably his secret superpower. He was a tinkerer, free from conventional thinking, and he set out to build a machine that used human balance. The challenge was immense. Everyone knew you couldn't keep two wheels upright. His first attempts were wobbly, to say the least, but then he had a brilliant breakthrough. He realized a two-wheeled vehicle could stay balanced, but only if it was moving. That was the magic. The solution wasn't to fight the wobble, but to harness forward momentum. So, he built it almost entirely from wood and called it the Laufmaschine, which literally means running machine. This thing was a beast, weighing about 50 pounds with no pedals. To move, you'd sit on the leather saddle, push off with your feet like a scooter, and then lift your legs to glide. It had a pivoting front wheel for steering and even a simple brake. Then came the big test. On June 12, 1817, Drais set out to ride from Mannheim to a nearby town and back. Can you imagine the scene? A baron on a weird wooden contraption, pushing himself down a rough road. People must have stared, maybe even laughed. But Drais kept going. He pushed, he glided, he balanced. And it worked! He completed the 7-kilometer round trip in under an hour. That was far faster than walking. This was the breakthrough. The first human-powered, two-wheeled vehicle was real. He even got a patent for it. But acceptance wasn't instant. Critics mocked it, calling it the dandy horse. Still, the seed was planted, and copies began to spread across Europe. Later, other inventors added pedals, but that improvement came with a cost. The new bikes had iron frames and solid wheels, making them brutally heavy and rigid. They earned the name Boneshaker for a very, very literal reason. They rattled every bone in your body. It's almost funny to compare Drais's original wooden glider to our modern, feather-light carbon fiber wonders. His invention had no chain, no gears, no rubber tires, but it had the one thing that mattered, the revolutionary idea. So, the next time you hop on a bike, think about Baron Karl von Drais, just trying to get to work without his horse dying. It makes you wonder, what if he could see the billion-dollar industry and the simple joy that grew from his solution to a horse feed shortage? What first invention do you think changed the world the most? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe if you want more stories like this about the dramatic origins of the things we take for granted.